All right, biology class, welcome to lecture using microscopes. Oh, PES. Our objectives today are to learn the basic anatomy of a microscope. We want to learn how to focus an image, and we want to learn how to use a microscope safely. In this case, it's the safety of the microscope that I'm really concerned with. The microscope won't bite you, but if you drop it or you're rough with it, it can be damaged, and these are almost impossible to replace because they're close to 40 years old, and so don't break them. So let's move on. Basically, I want to teach you the anatomy of the microscope. Here we go. Here's a picture of what a microscope we're going to use today. I'd like you to make a little rough sketch of what you see and might draw these labels. I want you to know these labels. Or you can draw a microscope or just a little outline. It doesn't have to be amazing. You know, I would like you to know that this is the eyepiece. The eyepiece is a little glass lens that focuses light 10 times. So whatever light comes into the eyepiece is focused 10 times. This knob right here is called the coarse focus knob. Coarse means rough, or means, in this case, like strong. You turn this and it focuses a lot. It moves the focus very much. This is called the fine focus knob, and it moves the focus just a little bit. So when you're focusing on something very, very small, you'll use the fine focus. This right here is called the stage clip. It's a clip that holds down a slide on the microscope. And this right here is called the light source. Oh, I'm now running on reserve battery power. This is called the light source. It helps illuminate the specimen. This is the base right here. This is the stage. That's where your specimen sits on. This is called the objective. There are 3 different lenses. They're called the objective lenses, and they're 4 times, 10 times, and 40 times power. So whatever image is underneath the objective, it'll magnify it 4 times, 10 times, or 40 times. And this is called the nose piece right here. These are the names that I'd like you to know. Go ahead and write those down, and we'll continue on in a few moments. Those out there in internet land, why don't you go ahead and make a little drawing and label it for me. Okay, we're going to move on to the next slide. It's the same microscope, just a different angle. So check it out. You can see that this is the eyepiece 10 times, coarse focus, fine focus, nose piece, objective, stage, light source, and base. I haven't included any new words here, but I just want you to know that these are the parts, and sometimes it's great to get another angle on it. All right. And let's look at, that looks good. Let's look at one more picture. And here's another picture of our microscope that we're going to be using. I've got a question. Good question. You don't have to draw every picture here, just one picture of a microscope. Check this out. Here we have the microscope. Here's the coarse focus, the fine focus, the nose piece, the rocker arm. That's a new word. Rocker arm is the arm that connects the nose piece to the base. It rocks back and forth. That's why it's called the rocker arm. We have the stage clips. Here we have the light adjustment. This is a new one that I want you to know. Light adjustment, you turn the wheel and it makes the light dimmer or brighter depending on what you want. So please know light adjustment. There's a light source. And here are the objectives once again, 4x. See how this 4x is small? And see how that the 10x right here is a little bit larger, and the 40x objective right here is actually the biggest one. These are the parts of the microscope I want you to know. I'm ready to move on unless you guys moving right along. So, yeah. Our next objective is let's demonstrate the microscope in action. Ta-da! This is a live performance of my microscope in action. This is me. Yeah, pretty cool. So check it out. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to manipulate the microscope. Right now I'm turning the coarse adjustment knob. That's the coarse adjustment. See how it moves the nose piece up and down? That's what focuses the light. Okay. Here's the fine adjustment knob. I'm turning it, but do you see anything happening? Something is happening, though. It's so very small, it's hard to see. Yeah. All right. I'm going to turn now the objectives. The objectives here will turn, they rotate up, yeah. They rotate up. They rotate like, they rotate like this. They turn around to select a different one that you want to see. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So the objectives turn. Let me show you the rocker arm in action. The rocker arm goes back and forth. This one's a little stiff. Back and forth. It rocks back and forth. The light source gives you the light source, and the stage clips clip down the slide. Any questions so far about that? Okay. So, those of you in internet land, take a moment and quiz yourself as I quiz my class on these things. What is this? Oh, snap, that didn't work. Okay, never mind. Yeah, what is this one? Coarse focus. What's this one? Fine focus. What's this one? Rocker arm. And this thing? This one? Good. This one? Good. Up here, can't see it? Eyepiece. That's good. What's this one? See this little number right here? Light adjustment and the base. Very good. All right, snap. That's taken care of. Let's move on. Come back. All right. Our next goal is to learn how to use the microscope safely. Whenever you carry the microscope, I want you to use both hands. What that looks like is one hand on the rocker arm, one hand underneath the thing at all times. Please, that's important to me. That's very important to me. Do that. Always start with the lowest power objective. Whenever you put a new slide in there, I want you to always start with the lowest power objective. That way you don't jam the big objective into the glass and ruin it. You can put the nose piece all the way down, and let me do a little demonstration. You can put the nose piece all the way down with the low power objective. See how it's going all the way down? And it doesn't do anything. But if I have my high power objective on, it's going to smash it, and it's just going to be either scratched or broken. So always start with the low power every time. Other thing I'd like to know is never run with your microscope in your hand. Pretty obvious. And place it 12 inches from the edge of the lab bench. This is not 12 inches. This is for the camera to see. But 12 inches, I want it always at least 12 inches on the lab bench so you can't accidentally bump it off. Okay? Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, common sense, how to use it safely. If you need to remember it, I think it's pretty safe. It's simple. Here we go. And finally, let's learn how to focus an image before we go into the lab. Pretty simple. Go back to our screen. Up, up, up. Don't do this to me. I don't know why it does this. Anyway. Whoa. All right, so here's how we do it. Step one, you'll take a slide, either one that you make or one that is given to you, and you'll put it under the can everyone see? You'll put it under the stage clips. This will keep it from moving around and keep you from losing it. Try to put it in there so the specimen is under the light. Then what you do is you take your fine coarse focus knob and turn it all the way down. Go all the way down and you look in. You won't see anything, and then you start turning the coarse focus knob up slowly. Stop when you see something. If you need to use the fine focus knob, hello, my pretty. Where did you go? There you are. Yes. It's something you'll see later today. It's a root tip. It's a slice of a root. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop talking. That's what you do. You bring it all the way down, then bring it up slowly. When you're ready to go to the next power, then turn the objective to the next power. Don't start on a high power first. Okay? So, class, that's what I want you to know. Step one, low power, step 2.